For the first exercise, we're going to open up our VirtualBox software and we're going to start the Kali VM. So please start Kali now. Just click on, in the left pane, click on Kali Linux, and in the menu bar at the top, click Start. And you will begin starting up your machine. You should by now know the login and password. The login is going to be root and the password is going to be root spelled backwards. Thank you. After a couple of seconds, the Kali desktop will come up. In the upper left of the Kali desktop, you will see an Applications menu item. Select that now. Then you will see number 1, Information Gathering, and number 2, Vulnerability Analysis. Hover over Vulnerability Analysis and click on Nmap. Thank you. Selecting Nmap will bring up this terminal screen listing the Nmap commands and parameters. Now we're going to open a DOS prompt. In the lower left of your Windows desktop, click the Start button and type CMD. This will most likely help you find the command prompt. The example in the picture here is a Windows 10 desktop environment. Thank you. Once you've brought up the DOS prompt, type ipconfig. This will give you several lists of settings. Look for your IPv4 address. It would likely be under the Ethernet adapter Ethernet, which would be a hardwired connection, or there might be some wireless reference to this IPv4 address. Please look through the output and determine your IPv4 address now. Thank you. Now return to Kali Linux and issue the ping command. So type ping and then the IP address that you would have gotten from your DOS prompt window when you typed ipconfig. We discussed this in the previous slide. So be sure to ping this. Be sure that the ping is responsive. So if you look at the screen here, you'll see that I am actually getting a response, and it's showing that I am getting data back, and it's taking less than a millisecond each for the most part. So you can see that I've transmitted 3 packets and I've received 3 packets. Once you've begun your ping, it will run forever until you hit Control-C. So once you're satisfied that there is connectivity and that the ping is working, hit Control-C to exit and return to the Linux prompt. Thank you. Now we're ready to issue the nmap command. We will do nmap -a is the parameter, and as you can see, that'll enable OS detection, which will tell you basically what kind of operating system you're utilizing. Then we will type in the IP address. In my case, from my ping and from my IP config that I previously did, I know that my IP address is 192.168.1.70. Be sure you determine the correct IP address for yourself or this will not work. So we're doing nmap-a, my IP address or your IP address. Then you'll see the greater than sign. That's a redirect symbol in Linux or Unix. So that's going to redirect the output of this nmap command to a file. So as you remember from week 2, the tilde means it's your home directory. So it's going to put the file in your home directory, and it's going to create a name called nmapdata.txt, and that is case sensitive. So now that this is run, we will go ahead and email this to ourselves. Thank you. Now we will briefly demonstrate how we open Iceweasel and mail this to ourselves. Iceweasel is the alternative to Firefox that's used with Kali Linux. So if you'll watch on the screen, it's now bringing up the browser, which defaults to a file page. You will sign into your Albertus or whatever email you want and simply attach the file, the nmapdata.txt file. And once you have this file, take a picture of the file and submit it with e-learning. I do want you to bring this file to class with you because I do want to look at this next week in week 7 and week 8. Thank you. Now from the applications menu, we are going to go under password attacks and we are going to select COOL. That's C-E-W-L. Thank you. The COOL command parses through websites and looks for common words and it puts them into a word list. These words are used for password hack attacks. So sometimes an HTML page might even have a login and password nested into it, in which case you'd be able to hack that out. You wouldn't really need this tool for that, but you could. For doing brute force attacks and password attacks, this is a tool that is useful for penetration testing involving passwords. So if you look on the bottom of the screen here, the command is COOL, C-E-W-L. Then the website that you wish to get the word list for. The -W parameter means to write out a file, so we're going to call it CEWL words.txt, and that's going to put that right in the root user's home directory where the other file was, and you will email this to yourself as well. Thank you. Please read this slide very carefully and make sure you understand the homework assignment. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Thank you.